countless monsters gathered on the mountain peak, swiftly surrounding the family at the foot of the hill. To make matters worse, the shelter door at the base was bolted shut from inside. The people outside pounded desperately on the steel door, but those inside turned a deaf ear. Meanwhile, the monsters grew ravenous, swarming down the slopes like a tidal wave. If the door wasn't opened soon, they would all be torn to shreds in utter despair. Frank had no choice. He grabbed a crowbar, determined to fight to the death and carve a path to survival for his family. But at the final moment, the door suddenly swung open. The family scrambled into the shelter, barring the door just as violent impacts thudded from outside. Trembling with fear, they clung together, thanking Frank's uncle for saving them. But the usually quiet shelter wasn't just home to the elderly couple. Frank noticed a stranger in military uniform. Clearly, this soldier had initially refused them entry, then relented for unknown reasons. The uncle quickly explained the soldier was also a refugee. But Frank sensed something off about the man's gloomy demeanor, and the pistol at his hip, putting Frank on high alert. In times of disaster, human nature can be more terrifying than monsters. As tension hung in the air, the uncle announced he had prepared dinner, suggesting they eat and rest a while. On the surveillance feed, monsters could still be seen savagely beating the door. At dinner, no one had much appetite, with the creatures still gathered outside showing no sign of leaving. Suddenly, the soldier declared the monsters were sent by God to test humanity. While he ranted, the uncle subtly gestured toward a fruit knife on the table, catching Frank's eye. Frank instantly understood. The soldier was a dangerous fanatic. He quietly pocketed the knife, but the soldier was no fool. Sensing the shift in mood, he drew his gun, dominating the room. He'd noticed Frank's covert move and ordered him to return the knife to the table. Frank tried to calm him, urging everyone to coexist peacefully until the disaster passed.
What the hell is this?
He's been holding us hostage, Laura. Did you just clue into that?
Just as the standoff intensified, an eerie silence fell outside, as if the monsters had vanished. Everyone held their breath, afraid to make a sound. Suddenly, a snake-like creature slithered through a vent, sinking its fangs into the ant closest by. The uncle reacted swiftly, yanking it off and smashing it onto the table. Seizing the chance, Frank tackled the soldier, wrestled away his gun, and fired repeatedly at the serpentine monster. But the creature moved with alarming speed, crawling swiftly along the wall, making it hard for Frank to aim. As it lunged toward Frank, his daughter kept her cool, slicing it in half with a single knife strike, ending the threat. With the crisis over, the soldier was taken prisoner. Checking the monitors, Frank saw the shelter was completely surrounded. Worse, a massive minotaur-like beast had joined the horde. It rammed the steel door again and again. Clearly, the last line of defense wouldn't hold much longer. They lacked the weapons and stamina for a prolonged fight, but waiting helplessly wasn't an option. They had to find a way out. Just then, the tied-up soldier spoke up. He revealed that before arriving, he'd hidden a fully fueled vehicle about 5 kilometers behind the mountain. They could drive it to a nearby drilling base, which housed a sturdy bunker. Though Frank didn't trust the soldier, they had no other choice but to take the risk. They sprang into action. The uncle distributed his stockpiled weapons to everyone. The group planned to slip out the back.
I'm good.
This time.
Frank first opened the front shelter door, luring the monsters inside. He then sprayed salt water at the first charging beast, enraging it and drawing the horde's attention toward the front. This created a diversion, allowing them to escape through the back, into an underground tunnel, leading north toward the gorge, where the soldier's SUV was hidden. The escape route was fraught with danger. Crossing a desolate intersection, they found a gigantic crimson monster studded with black spines, seemingly dormant by the roadside. As Frank's daughter reached out to touch it,
Maddie!
Sorry, I'm coming.
the ground split open, slimy tentacles erupting and coiling around her ankle, dragging her downward. In that critical moment, Tyler grabbed hold of her while Frank's ex-wife severed the tentacle, saving the girl's life. That's all for today's movie recap. Follow me for more exciting follow-up content.